Yo, what is up, guys? Uh, Time for another ramble because I am a little bored. It's been a while. I plan on doing one for quite a while. Um, Originally, I think my first one was uh, near the start of January. Um, I was gonna was it end of December? I don't remember. Um, but I was like, oh, if I just do one every month. Um, and so I planned on doing one for a while, but um, I just never got around to it. I think that was like always something else to do. Um, because it's like one, you have to be in the mood to kind of talk to yourself. But I imagine probably an hour. The last one was an hour. Um, so I feel like I have enough to talk about to go another hour. Um, so one, you have to be in the mood, and two, you have to um, not have anything else better to do. Uh, which sometimes is the case. But then I'm not in the mood, or vice versa, or whatever. I think. Oh wait, no, I did that one. Um. So yeah, Ramble 2. Um. I think the first one it got a lot of positive reception. I was really surprised. I guess I think I was really nervous. I wasn't really sure because I'd never done something like that before. Obviously I streamed for quite a few years, pretty on and off. Um. So it wasn't really like the talking to other people. It's just like I don't know, making something and then like kind of expecting people to watch because there's like no live audience or something, or I don't know. It was like I, it definitely felt different to streaming. And so I was unsure if I actually wanted to put something out there like that. But one of my friends convinced me to. And I'm glad I did. I think I definitely wasn't expecting over 1,000 people to watch it. Um, and there was, yeah, a lot of positive feedback. Well, sorry, not feedback, just positive reception, I guess. There's a lot of negative feedback about the audio. I'm sorry about that. I think I think it should be fixed now. I hope it's fixed. If it's not fixed, no, I'm not gonna re fucking record or anything. But if it's still not great, I will try and fix it even more. I think I'm not really sure what happened. But so my audio on Twitch has always been relatively quiet. But if you just like put the volume on Twitch on max, it's like always fine. But then on YouTube, it was just fucking infinitely quieter. And so I don't know what's going on with that. Um, um, but I found a way to increase the volume, so hopefully it's like actually listenable this time. Um, but yeah, so I think like originally I only expected a handful of people to watch or really even care. But that was definitely, uh, yeah, more than I expected people to care, which is really cool. Um, a lot of people asking for more, and I enjoyed making the first one. So here we go again. Um, so yeah, I think I have a few things written down. Um, I spent about 5 minutes thinking of topics. Um, Maybe I need to ramble. I might fucking go off topic or think of something along the way. But it will probably be the standard what I've been doing, what I want to do, and then a few other random topics. I think I think I mentioned the first one. Like I am a really big fan of other people's rambles as well, which is like one of the main reasons why I started. And so it was really good to see the Florals ramble and the Mr. Largy ramble. So shout out to those guys. Go watch those if you haven't. Um, like there's just something about even if they're people that I talk to like on a daily or weekly basis, it's just like there's something different about someone just sitting down and talking about like their backstory or their thoughts about the game, because I mean, it's not something that always comes out in like everyday conversation. Um, and even if it does, it's like interesting to listen to a person talk about how they approach the game. Where am I going? Um, but yeah, so it was really cool to see those ones. Hopefully some more people um, as well would be cool. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna more or less start. It's been 6 minutes and I've said nothing as usual. So right now I am doing a farm run. I realized that I'm not going to get enough farming XP um, to from herb runs because I don't have that many herb runs left. Um, so I have to start getting my farming XP from trees. I think in the sheet it's like, oh, I don't know, off the top of my head, like 80 mil XP you have to get from trees or something. And I've probably only done like 10 mil so far, and I'm like, or maybe like 15 mil, and I'm like, um, 151 mil, and I've got a couple months of farm runs. Um, but that's, I think a lot of that's because for the longest period of time, I did, when I was in my farming contracts, I didn't really skip like anything. So I would, like if I got a magic tree or palm tree, I would wait even like 16 hours for it to grow. And so I think I got quite a lot more farming XP than you would expect from that. Um, and obviously, like, it's better to wait on the farming than, like, I'd kind of always, like, look and be like, okay, well, I don't want to go too overboard and I'm not really far behind or anything. So I'm not going to farm any trees. Realistically, I probably could have been farming, like, mahoganies, but, like, it's not that big of a deal. The skill is fucking 3 mil XP an hour. And I have quite a few like born dragon fruits and a bunch of magic. Like I have a decent amount, and I think that's something else I want to show you. Oh yeah, the herb seeds. This is the herb top tab. It's slightly differently ordered. But yes, let me get for herb top. That is really fucking loud as well. I might turn that down. Um, Let me just get, because this requires some brain power. Hopefully the fucking game sounds aren't too loud. Yeah, maybe a little bit quieter. Yeah, obviously didn't want to go too overboard on the farming XP, because, I mean, that would just be a waste of time. Um, so yeah, I've just started doing tree runs again because I kind of know what I'm doing for Herblore. I'll get into that a bit later, but I've been um, progressing Herblore quite a lot recently, and I have a pretty reasonable expectation of how the rest of the skill plays out for me, which means I know roughly how much farming XP I'll need, um, which is why yeah I've been doing the farming or the tree runs. Um, right now doing herb top. Um, a lot of people know I complain about this on Twitter every week, although I actually might be stopping that because I've started going to bed earlier, and so I'm not awake for the tweet. And realistically, there's no point tweeting that shit in the morning after 8 hours. I probably could, but I definitely don't care enough. It's like when I only ever tweet because like if I get the first tweet in, all the people see it and people get pissed off and they comment at me to tell me to kill myself, and it's usually pretty funny. I've seen a couple people in game at the place and they go, yo, Peepop, aren't you the guy that fucking hates Herblore and shit? And it's like, well, I think the content's fine. The XP rates it. What am I doing? I'm probably going to do a lot of that. Trying to focus on speaking as well. But I actually kind of like. Oh my god, I'm retarded. Maybe to try and do Herblore wasn't a good idea. I actually kind of like the content, and I know a lot of people don't really. I don't know if there's anybody else that I've talked to that actually likes it. It's definitely not like my favorite thing in the whole world. Oh my god. But it's not bad. Um, so yeah, I don't mind it. It doesn't not feel like scaling so much as some of the other stuff I've done recently has. Um, but like there are other things I kind of want to be doing instead. Um, but like my main focus at the moment is not completing Herb, but like getting through a lot of it. Um, I'm pretty sure I was like 120 mil Herb or something. Um, on the last ramble, a bit over a month ago. Um, and I have still a lot of XP in the bank, so yeah, I've been working mostly on that. Um, yeah, the kind of method I'm currently, well, doing very poorly, is basically you make 3 of each potion that isn't a triple color, and then you use one at each of the stations. Um, so the first column in my inventory is for this station, the middle column is for the concentrate station, and the right column is for the homogenized station. And then it's just transposed for the mix-a-lots because there's not enough rows to do those, which is fine. I did, what do you want to call it? Try not having all the paste in the inventory, and I think it's probably very slightly better, but it's kind of annoying. I did a few hours of it, and I was like, it didn't noticeably increase the XP rates. It was maybe like 500 to 1,000 per hour, and it's a lot more effort because you have to deal with 2 transposed things, and then it's like you got to be more careful about which potions you use and like how many potions at each station you use, and I forgot to use that one at that station, but that's fine. I tried like a different bunch of combinations out. I think I probably did like 15 to 20 hours maybe. I kind of just making that up in my head. Um, and I think my average XP rate fully focused was like 112k an hour, which is pretty retarded. Um, my best hour was about 115k, and I think the worst hour was like 108k. And that's even like a little bit distracted, probably. Um, so about 110, 112k long term is pretty reasonable. And the exact method I'm doing now is basically I do 5 inventories at a time. There's nothing special about that number. Originally, I was like trying to like pay close attention to like which potions I receive in the order and which ones I use, which ones I have left, and all that shit, and just turning my brain off and just clicking 5 times. It just ends up basically being the same. Um, I could slightly optimize it and save a few ticks here and there, but it's very it's not obvious what the optimal answer is, and the difference it makes is very marginal. So I kind of just, after, how many hours of testing, just decided, hey, I'm just going to click 5 times. Whether I miss a whole bunch of mix-a-lots or I barely use many potions, I'm not really going to care, because this just makes it easy. And so that's what I've been doing. I fucking missed a potion again. I started at, I think, about 430k paste of each. And it was not a mistake, but it was maybe pretty silly. Like, in my head, it's a 1-to-1 paste ratio of everything, because the potions all have a equal weighting. So there's MMA, AAM, like the 6 different, so, and they all have the equal weighting, so excluding Mix-a-Lot, but that uses like an equal amount of each, so it's also equal. So your average potion, if you make anything but triple colors, requires an equal amount of each point, or of each paste. The thing I didn't really consider, well, I kind of did consider, but I underestimated how much of an impact it would be over 100 plus hours of this, is how much of the skip potion you use. Because if you get 3 triple color orders, you end up skipping, and that's basically always done with MMA. I could make a different potion for that, but I figured technically it's probably the most efficient to just do that with the shittiest paste, which would be blue, as much blue and then green. I could do like a triple green, but I think, I mean, you couldn't even do a red. It's like the difference is so marginal. I kind of just do MMA out of habit, especially since it's the first one you already do. So especially if your inventory kind of fills up, it's like helpful, and it doesn't matter really. Like I could start now doing LLA to like kind of even out the points. But it's I don't really care. I will just do slightly more herb tot. So what I could have done was just not make 430k red or green paste. But I was a little stubborn, and I kind of wanted to get out all the paste at the start, because making paste is kind of annoying if you have to do it quite often. So yeah, I think, yeah, I started about 430k, but then I made maybe 20 or 30k extra blue paste. I had some Taramans left in the bank, and I checked Miscellanea and used the Taramans, Marantil, and Harrylander, because I don't think you get Guam. I also opened my Hunter Rumor sacks. I had a bit of a 7,000 of those. I was originally planning to save them for 200 more Hunter, but then like the only thing you get from saving them to 200 more Hunter is like a whole bunch of quets and pets, and like it's not like that's unique or anything. Like so many other people are doing that, and I really don't care. And I was holding them off, like, because like if the choice was to have that or not, like I would rather have it if it had no impact on like how I played the game. But I definitely didn't want to wait until I finish all my birdhouses to then open the sacks, because I still have like quite a lot of birdhouses to go, like way more than herb runs, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. With the focus on Herblore recently, I was just like, fuck, I'll just open the sacks. That'll like give me a better idea of how the herb situation is. And so I did that. I got, I think, like 1,000 Harrowlanders, to be honest. The wiki information says it's an equal amount of every herb, and I got like a couple thousand of each of the other herbs. But I believe it scales on your herb level. So you get like way less Harrowlanders at 99. Yeah, and I farmed about low 20,000 Harrowlanders for my blue paste. And yeah, So I'm at Herbtot because this place is unfortunately very efficient. Well, not. It's very efficient for the mox paste you have 0 time. It's efficient for farming any Haralander seeds you have, provided you don't run out of mixes, which used to be very hard, but nowadays it's a lot easier with the goggles saving 11.1% or giving you 11.1% extra caviar. On top of, if you do plan on PVMing after, you probably don't want to make your super restores or your super defenses or whatever into mixes, which I am not doing. Well, I'm not making, sorry, super combats and stuff into mixes. Well, I made super combats instead of making like Zamorak brews and using all the combat potion components, which like loses you a lot of mixes and a lot of XP because one super combat loses you 1.5 Zamorak brew worth of mixes, and then 2 super strength, 2 super defense, 2 super attack. So it's 7.5 caviar per super combat potion. And I made like, I think I have like 20k or something, which is 150k mixes, or that I'm missing out on. Which I'm not sure if I will have enough mixes for all of my caviar. I haven't really calculated in depth because there's nothing I can do to change that. Like I'm not going to go out of my way to like there's nothing I can really do that would be at least worth like in such a long run. Like if I really care, I can just make like prep potion mixes or super restore mixes or whatever if I'm really desperate. But I think in the long run, it's like pretty irrelevant considering kind of how close I am. But I think at most, I don't think I'll miss out on more than 100k. And I think if I do end up doing stuff like aerial fishing clog, and then I still have to fish quite a few more Karumba. Well, I think it's like 15 mil XP more in Karumba, so what, like 3.5, 4 mil fishing XP in that, and then I think the aerial fishing would be about 6 mil XP or something. So there's like 10 mil XP, and that's like I don't know 50k caviar or something. I'm rough guesses here, but yeah, um, yeah, doing Hubcon at the moment. I think I'll kind of a recount of what I was doing, unless I've missed anything about Herbtot. Um, I think in general, people have probably heard me say this, but I think for those who may be curious, um, like why I'm so vocal about Herbtot being as strong as it is, um, or to give people an idea of how strong Herbtot actually is. Um, so the efficient Herblore rate is like 76k, and the method for that is farming contracts, and then just making potions. So that includes the time to do the contracts, farm the seeds, get the secondaries, make the potions, etc., etc., etc. And that's 76k now. If you have Haralander seeds, and use if you have Haralander seeds, Ranar seeds, and use Irit seeds, the Harland and Renar seeds being seeds you would otherwise not have planted because they are not efficient, so they lose you 0 time effectively, and then the Irit seeds lose you. Well, Irit or Dwarf Wheat are roughly the same. You lose slightly a bit of XP because if you have an Irit seed, it's more efficient than going out of way to get new seeds, being about, I think it's like 85k farming Irit seeds. and a little bit less for dwarfweed. And anyway, the detail doesn't really matter, but so you lose a slight amount of XP from the irits, and the herb tot ends up being, oh, off the top of my head, I think it's low 80k. Um, does that sound about right? And so if you're farming Herlander, farming Irit, farming Renar, it's I think like 82k, including the XP you lose from the Irits. So it's only very slightly better in terms of absolute numbers than just doing more farming contracts. Um, so it's not strong in that way, but the way it is strong is the fact that it removes the time gate. Like, it essentially, I don't know the exact number, it basically triples the XP per herb, which is like, if you did all of your Herblore through Herb you reduce the amount of herb runs you need by 66%, which is ridiculous. Like, the herb, like, upkeeping herb runs is like a lot of the identity of the skill for ironman, and it's like, I think that's one of the main things of, like, just one of the main identities of ironman mode itself is how time consuming and quote unquote tedious Herblore is. Because you have to get the seeds, do the herb runs and all that stuff. So the time gate itself, like removing that a lot is ridiculous. The second one is the rewards. Like, the potion packs definitely seem underwhelming, but I think like the downside, or the proposed downside of Herb Tot, was that you're spending herbs you would have otherwise made into potions and getting nothing in return, which isn't true, because what you're getting in return is, like, it's a small amount of potions, like, definitely, but the idea that I am, like, you're never going to use Toadflax herbs at Herb Tot. That would be fucking retarded. Like, you're never going to use Torstals. Like, you're always going to use the worst herbs that you can that's, like, worth doing it. And generally, the worst herbs are the ones that are worth doing because they are the worst herbs, and the better herbs are better just to make into potions. Um, and so if I'm using Harlanders, Ranars, and Irits, or Dwarfweeds, um, I'm spending useless potions. Like, well, most people probably wouldn't find prayer pots useless, but in terms of like skilling, like you only need so many prayer potions. Like, um, the amount of super resources you get should fund you through all of Slayer. But from a pure skilling perspective, like, you're spending useless herbs and you're getting potions back that are useful. Like, I'm gonna get brews, which I don't know. I already have enough of, but like for most people, brews are useful. I'm gonna get ranging potions, magic potions, super strength, super defense, which are very useful for either PVM or mixes. Um, I'm gonna get prayer enhancers. Like, I'm spending useless herbs to get useful potions. So the whole proposed downside of Herb Tot kind of doesn't really work. It's really the opposite, in that sense. Um, and also, I think, like, there are some good things from Herb Tot. Like, I think the goggles are, like, whatever. The reagent pouch is really cool. Unfortunately, still we can't multi-skill with it. Um, my bad for bringing it into the Inferno to test it when they said it would not be available in the Inferno, and then it was, and then they allegedly fixed it, and then I took it back in and it still worked, but just a slightly different way. And then they actually fixed it, but then 4 or 5 months later you can't use it outside of a bank still, even though, unless I'm making this up, I'm pretty sure they said in a blog it would be usable for multi-skilling, and that was part of its intended purpose. But yeah, anyway, I digress. And then, some of the other rewards, like whatever, Chug Jug is a little gay, but whatever, potion storage, I believe is still unusable, but yeah. Um, but I think most people would think the gameplay loop of regular Herblore is more interesting than Herb Top. Um, and yeah, the whole mini gamification of skills like really hurts Iron Man and UIM specific, like in particular, but like just any Iron Man game mode, it kind of because it's like it's so hard to balance XP rates around all three game modes, um, main Iron, UIM, and they basically just copy paste the same. I mean, mixology is like actually slightly different, but like for some reason people just hate normal skilling and love minigame skilling. And like I actually like most mini games, particularly solo. They're a lot more enjoyable, and generally solo is best, with the exception of Winter Tot. And obviously the hop method is the best, and I guess technically XP purposes, bank stand, uh, Guardians of Rift is the best. But I'll get into that in probably a little bit. Um, but it definitely does kind of not ruin, but it makes the game mode less interesting when the efficient method to train everything is just a mini game, and the mini game's the same every time. It's like you gather the resource AFK for a little bit, and then you do something to it to fight the boss. It's like Wintertor, Temperos, Guardians of the Rift. There are any other mini games. They're all the fucking same, really, and I don't really get why people find training through mini games it's as so much more enjoyable than traditional training methods. But I don't know if it's like the rewards or just how the gameplay exists in general. But yeah, it's definitely quite different than regular skilling. Um, but people fucking flock to it, especially like I mean, of course, the player count numbers are going to be high when you basically gap the skill, like not require, but like heavily incentivize you to go to the mini game for 20 hours to get the rewards. Like, RC, like technically it's not efficient for a main to get the pouch because overall, but like, really everyone's gonna get the pouch, and that's like, um, I don't know, 12 hours or something on raid, or fucking like 100 if you're cheery. Um, and obviously most people then don't get the outfit, and that's like 2025, and then Temperos makes we get the fishing barrel, and Wintertot's like a lot quicker because the rewards definitely aren't as strong. Or at least the uncritical rewards aren't as strong. The loot is a lot better, I think. But yeah. So anyway, that's my little rant on mini games. 34 minutes in, and I've not gotten through my first point, so that's great. This might go for a while. Um, So what I'm doing at the moment, so I've covered Herb Tot. I think I covered what I've done since the last ramble. So in the last one, about 7 weeks ago-ish, I was doing woodcutting. I was doing 1.5, oh sorry, not 1.5, I'm not good enough for that. 2 tick-teaks with plank making and cutting sturgeon to bank the rest of construction. Um, so including the future logs I will get from Miscellanea, I basically have construction banked. I'm pretty certain. Assuming I do mahogany homes. Um, though I'm not sure if I will. It kind of depends how I intend to finish the game, which is one of my topics. but I might end up using my mahogany as a benches and then just chopping a whole fuck ton more teak planks, because technically that's more efficient. Um, but it depends on like how much woodcutting XP I can get through redwoods, because I definitely don't think I'll finish that. But if I end up taking the end of the game a lot more slowly or whatever, then yeah, it really depends. But that's one of the other topics. But so I more or less finished banking con, and then after that, my intended plan was to either do mining, because I was enjoying doing mining at the time. Sorry, I'm gonna take a drink. I'd been doing a bit of mining and I was finding it really fun. Um, so it was either mining or I think rune crafting. I actually can't remember uh, what my plan was. Uh, I think it was the plan I think was to use the construction planks and then do mining or rune crafting, maybe. I'm not sure. Um, that didn't happen. Basically, what happened was I finished banking the planks, and because I was cutting the sturgeon, I was kind of making like a little bit of progress, and I was kind of trying to find other ways to fit in that sturgeon. Um, One of the ways I sort of did was between, um, that was the wrong station. Wintertot games, I started doing like, instead of world hopping, I would just teleport to the bank, cut a bunch of sturgeon or make mixes, and then um, go back. And I did the same at Guardians of the Rift. I would sit outside the bank, put an inventory sturgeon, go in at 60% for the second portal. I do 2 portals, that gives me the 300 points I need for the game, or to get the XP reward, and then I would go cut the sturgeon while waiting. Um, that was good because like cutting sturgeon and making mixes is as fast as you can click. Um, and it's basically impossible to upkeep that um, at 100% efficiency for more than, I mean, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. And especially after 5, 10, 15 minutes, I get really bored because, like if you try and click on another song, well, there's 10 surge and you could have cut or whatever. Like, it's really disincentivized to not be permanently cutting as fast as you can. So having that like 3 minutes or 4 minutes of Guardians of the Rift and then like 6 minutes of cutting definitely like improved my efficiency while I was cutting it, but also it's slightly more efficient in itself because like the effective RC is like, I don't know, 100k or something. Like it's not that good, but combined with being able to get through the mixes more efficiently and just the mental buff of that, um, like really helped. Um, so I think 6 months ago I had like 400k sturge in the bank. I cut about 100k doing the Guardians of the Rift hop method originally, when you could use like multiple worlds, um, until that got well, it got patched half after like a day or two or something, and then after like 2 weeks or something, it got put up from 150 to 300 points. So you have to start doing 3 portals instead of two. Oh, sorry, 2 portals instead of one, which definitely like the method's still worth doing, but it's not like so important that you do it. It's like 1.1, 1.15 maybe if you don't have the multi-skilling that you need to do or something. Um, and so during that original one, I think I got through like 80, 90k surgeon or something, and then I got through a bit of woodcutting. So I think I had like a little bit over 100k sturgeon cut. And then I had like 280k sturgeon left over. So I got through all of that sturgeon then, after I finished woodcutting. So the original Surgeon was, when was the Guardians of the Rift thing? Fuck, I think it was probably sometime before Christmas. Maybe November sometime or something like that. So a couple months, or maybe even earlier. But a couple months went by. I used all my 120k Surgeon, made the mixes, and cut the rest of my Surgeon and made enough mixes for all of the potions that I had. I think I have about 185k Surgeon left, and I haven't I've made some potions, but I haven't decanted them. But I more or less, yeah, ran out of mixes. I have like a lot of herbs. I think I have like 40, 50k like Avento potions, a bunch of like magic and iron potions that I will, oh my god, that I will be able to use. And then I should be able to get about 16, 17, 1800 packs from Herbtot, which should be about another 50. I'm making that number off the top of my head. I think it was about, I think Guardy said about, was it 2 more XP per 1k or per 2k? I don't remember, but I think, yeah, maybe like 50, 60k mixes sounds about right in my head, just from the potion packs. So yeah. So I got through all my Sturgeon, got through a decent amount of mixes, and the reason why I wanted to do that is because the Sturgeon stack was just building up, and I really hate cutting it. I didn't have very much fun cutting it at all, but needed to be done because so many people just end the game with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Sturgeon while they finish Herblore. And it's like, that's so much XP wasted. And I really didn't want to waste XP. And I was like, if the stack gets much bigger, I'll probably just end up saying fuck it and not cut all of them. So I figured I'd try and get through it now. That way I can keep the Sturgeon stack at, only a few K and basically cut it whenever I have a few minutes of downtime, and basically always keep the stack at 0, so it's not growing. So I'm happy that I got through that, but it wasn't very fun. I kind of stopped doing Guardians of the Rift. I was going for the pet. I think I hit 5,000 rolls. It's like 1 in 4K. And I was kind of just like, PVM stinks, or like RNG goals, like kind of really annoying. I think I'll probably go back. I have 100, bit on 163 mil RC at the moment, and I have 1.25 mil Dale or something. So I think I have like 7 mil XP spare currently, or about 300. I think it's about 8 mil. I have like 350k Dale Essence I need to get the rest of that. So I'm probably going to hold off on Dale. Like I might probably like 20k a week or something. But after Herb Tot, which should hopefully only be 2 more weeks. I originally planned it to be 2 weeks in the first place, but it ended up being, I think it's been 2 weeks already, but I got a little sidetracked. But yeah, I'll probably try and go back. I kind of like Garden Rift is pretty chill, it's pretty fun. But I love Dale, man. Like fuck. I'll miss that. I mean, I'll be going to Dale V2 after, which is like the calcified rocks, which is basically the same thing, except slightly more AFK. So that should be. It should be better, like in theory. The thing is, like, the way the sound works is I kind of like if I'm doing Dale to my phone, I kind of just have the sound playing, and I know when to click the next rock because the sound of you mining every like tick, like the dink dink dink, like it's very quick. Um, like you immediately know when you stop mining. But for calcified rocks, it has like the very slow mining animation, and the sound doesn't stop playing until the end of the animation is over, which is like fucking 15 seconds or something. So if it depletes at the start of the animation, the sound keeps playing for another 15 seconds or whatever. and so you lose a lot of time. But not that it really matters, and you can generally gauge the time just in your head. But that's something I'm not concerned about, but it will be a little bit of an adjustment. But the good thing is, even if you look at the phone early, you can like kind of reset the timer by just clicking on the next rock. Whereas day ult, you have to wait till the current one depletes. So theoretically, I think it should be better than day ult in terms of actually doing it. In terms of EHP wise, it's a little bit worse. I think it's like 0.4 instead of 0.5, or I mean, depending on obviously how AFK you are. But yeah, it's still pretty good. So that'll be the next AFK. Did I do anything else in the meantime? Eating, cooking, fishing. I did a little bit of hunt. I was gonna talk about that later. I think I was like 162 mil hunter. So I did like a 10, 11 mil hunter XP at Black Chins. I got the rank 1 6 hour. When it really was an outfit diff. Anyway, that was something I'll probably talk about later. I guess I used all my bone shards at the altar. That was like 9 mil XP or something from the hunter outfit loot, the hunter rumor loot. That was like 90 hunter mil XP for like 9 or 10 mil prayer or something. Didn't do any of the Royal Titans. Did a little bit of fire making with the mixes, but I preferred either just bank standing or doing Guardians of Rift because the Wintertop games are kind of too quick, really. And other than that, I think I just did a bit of Herblore. I made quite a few potions, because I wanted to make some potions to make more mixes. But yeah, so I think that's a lot of what I did. I want to quickly check my month on Temple to make sure I haven't missed anything. I started AFKing the cooking, the hunter meats instead of fishing. That's kind of whatever. Woodcutting, fishing, fire making, crafting. 23 more Herblore in the past month. Yeah, that's quite a lot. 86 thieving XP. I misclicked the master farmer twice. Edges from there. Room crafting from Guns of Rift. Yeah. So that looks, I think that's, I have not missed anything. Cool. So what I'm doing at the moment / last few months. So that's covered. That's point 1. I think I have, what is that, 8 or something, and we are quite long. Shit. Whatever. I'll just keep going until maybe it gets too long. I mean, I can always do another one soon. I don't know. Alright, plan for the future. Yeah, so my current plan is I wanted to get through as much of the shitty, like, well, shitty. Well, the mixes are pretty shitty. I don't mind Herb Tot. Whoops. But I wanted to get through Herblore, as much as I can. One, because, as I said, some of it's shitty. Was a lot of it is kind of shitty, and then it also helps to plan, like, how much contracts I need to do and how many farm runs I need to do and all that stuff. So, basically working my way through, I did as many of the mixes I could. I'm now going to do Herb Tot. I should get about 15 mil XP from Herb Tot, which is about an extra 11-ish, 10, 11-ish mil compared to just making the potions normally. How did I do that? And then I will buy potion packs, make more mixes, gather some secondaries, make potions, make mixes. I think I'm currently at 141 mil. I have a bit under 10 mil XP left to Herb Tot. I think this is about maybe 9 mil. Not too sure. Maybe 9, maybe 10. I don't know. So that put me at, say, 152. And I have in the bank Herblore 20 mil left. So that's 172 mil. Then I have a bit under 200k caviar. And I'll fish around about 200k caviar more. So that's from fishing. I have about 400k caviar, which is it's about 40 XP per, depending on the mix you make. So that's about 16 mil. So it puts me at 188. And then I think it was about, I did a very rough estimation, but it was about 10, 11 mil in current seeds. Once I farm all those. And then so with extra seeds that I get from Herb or from contracts, what would I have? What did I say? Like 100? I think I said 100. Did I say 188 or something? Yeah, then plus the 10 mil, it's in, I'm only like 2 mil XP off that I need a bank, which will be through contracts or I don't know, Wintertod or something. Basically, I'll probably end up getting less XP than what I just said from mixes, because either I won't have enough mixes or I just will be making them in worse potions, or I'll probably not use some realistically, because when I did kind of overshoot how much herb tot I did. I was only like a very small amount, and then some of my other herb tot estimates were, oh, Herblore estimates are pretty conservative. Just out of the fact that it's better to overshoot than undershoot. Um, so yeah, I think I have about 7,000. 7,000. 7,000 sounds about right. 6 or 7,000 seeds that I'll be planting, which is 700 herb runs, which should be a little bit over 2 months. I can do about 10 or 11 a day, I think. Yeah, like 11. I think it's usually 11 a day if I'm either working from home or like on a weekend. And then it's like fucking 3, maybe 4 a day, the days I go in. So all up, it's probably like 65 per week, maybe. I don't know, probably a bit less. And I'll be getting some more herbs passively. So realistically, at my current rate, I think I only have 3 months left of herb runs, and then I will be done. I won't be done Herblore because I have to wait until I finish fishing for all the mixes, and that will be sorry, finish. Yeah, what I say, finish fishing for all the caviar, for all the mixes, and I don't think I'll finish fishing for 9, 10-ish months. I don't really know. I've been doing slightly less fishing than I anticipated in the last few weeks, but I think that should be ramping up now that my study is back. But yeah, and then I also have quite a few bird runs to do, although I think it's less than I expected because I forgot about the goggles when I was calculating that. So it might be, I don't know, 6 months of bird runs or something. You're not really in a rush to finish Herblore, just kind of in a rush to have a more clear path for that skill, so that I'm not too far behind. Because if I don't know, somehow fucking really fuck up and I'm 10 XP behind, then I'm 2 months from finishing. Like, I don't have the time to do the herb runs for that or something. But yeah. So working around Herblore stuff is my main priority at the moment. Should get through Herb Tot, hopefully in 2 weeks. I mean, man, yeah, maybe, because I'll probably need to make, uh, Like, I need to make a little bit more green to match the red, and then probably need to make more blue. So realistically, the red is probably 3K. It's probably like 90 hours left of herb tot, and if I do probably 40 hours a week. Probably won't get that much because I'm a little busy with work and study at the moment. So yeah, maybe 3 weeks, and I do get sidetracked quite a bit doing other stuff, or I have at least been recently, like Hunter or other, I don't know, Herblore stuff. It's like I've made brews and played Clash Clans all of Saturday. So it was pretty fun. Got like 45 EHP and yeah. So yeah, maybe about 3 weeks, and then we're going to spend a bit of time collecting more of my fungus and wines of Zami. I think I need 20k wines of Zami. I think, let me quickly check. Dwarf weed. 23,000 and divide by 09 is, yeah, about 20k. So that should only take 30 hours, which is great. And then I think I have about 50 or 12, 15 hours of well, my fungus. And I'll probably have those made into potions slowly or maybe quickly, or I don't know. Just so I can have some mixes to do, get through some more mixes. And then that's kind of the most of the Herblore journey for now ended. And not in a rush to make the potions, but I'm in a rush to get all the weird components like mixes and herb tot out of the way. So the planning for the future is more simple. After that, like there's a few things like I want to do. I really want to learn artifacts. Well, like I guess relearn it. It's been like 3.5 years or something, or maybe even almost 4 years. It was like I did like 25 mil artifacts very early on. So it's been almost 4 years since I originally did it, and there's obviously all the new skips, and people have gotten a lot better at the method, and so I really want to go back to artifacts. I really was just waiting for the reagent pouch changes, but don't know if they're coming, unfortunately. But the thing is, thieving is one of the skills I want to save for last, because you can basically multi-skill anything there. Whereas rune crafting, you can kind of do the same, but it's more punishing because you actually like lose the essence if you do crafting. You lose the inventory space, whereas you don't really at thieving because you don't need the inventory space anyway. So yeah, I also kind of want to do broom crafting because I am so close. Well, because I basically have it banked, I kind of want to finish the skill. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh, well, broom crafting is an easy skill. I don't want to use up all my easy skills, but I don't know. I'm running out of things to do, and the thing is with like the macro game, like I can't just pick one skill and do it 80% of the way, which takes 3 to 15 months or something, and be like, yeah, I'm playing macro efficient. Like if I want to play macro, I have to do something for a week and then change, then do something else for a week, which isn't really how I like to play. Like I like sticking to one thing usually for a long period of time. That hasn't really been the case with Herblore because it's not the most fun. Um, I've also been kind of a little bit over the place IRL with study starting. And work's been a little busy sometimes, so sometimes I just don't want to come home from work and cut sturgeon. I want to do something a little bit easier. Um, but yeah. Rune crafting and thieving are two of the main ones, and the other one is mining. My original and sort of half kind of still plan is save mining till last because it's macro. If you have one skill left, having mining last is the best one. Um, just because you can do like stars or bone mining or VM or granite, depending on like what you need to be doing, like IRL or how much you want to put in effort. Um, the issue per se with that is that I'm. It feels weird to say, but like concerned I'll get complacent and just do VM only and like not put in the effort for granite and lose, a couple of 100 hours, which at the end of the day really doesn't matter because it's not going to be the difference between me getting 200 mil or not. But I still like from a mindset kind of view, it's like I still care about trying hard. Um, like there's a little bit of hope that I can get top 10 or single digit is a little bit of hope. Um, unless Zekan slows quite a bit down, if I do a 4K and he does a 2.8K, I'll finish about a couple weeks after him, and that's like our current years. Like he did about a 2.7, and I did a bit of a 4K, and I'm a bit of a 4K hours left, and he's like 2.8K hours left, and I don't know how much XP he has banked. No, bit of a 4K is inclusive of how much I have banked left, and so I'm probably like underestimating how much he has left. But like looking at the current temple, like I guess current week or whatever, it's like it seems like almost everybody has slowed down. Like outside of Wizard, like everybody is just taking their time. I don't know if it's because people don't want to finish, or people don't care about trying as hard, or um, people are just finding it less interesting toward the end. I don't know. I think it's pretty. From what I heard, like I've heard from a lot of people that um, the last year is the least fun because it kind of just feels like a countdown. Um, I am about a year, maybe 13 months off, at reasonable continuing pace. And I'm definitely not feeling that as not feeling that way. Like it definitely feels a little different because I can see the end actually approaching a lot more than a year or even 6 months ago. Because it's basically like it's 1 year and then I'm done, and that's kind of like whoa. Like I've just been playing the game for what, 4 has been 4 years, yeah, 4 years. um I've gained fucking 12,000 EHP or something. At current EHP rates it's probably like 13 and a little bit thousand or something at legacy EHP rates. um Plus I have like almost 1,000 banked or whatever. But yeah, um I'm definitely still enjoying the game just as much. I think recently I've been a little less as try hard, but I do kind of put that down to IRL. I think I've kind of I don't know if I'm coming off as like my IRL is like fucking all over the place dysfunctional. It's like completely fine. It's just like I had like a um oh yeah, because I was originally planning on doing this 2 weeks ago, but I got really really bad food poisoning. Um, so I was sick really badly for about 4 days, and I had ongoing nausea for like another 4 days. Um, so that kind of really threw me off. And then I think a little bit before that, the work schedule was kind of all over the place for like a week or two because um, we had a really busy week or two. Um, so yeah, I was kind of a little bit out of schedule, and had less time to focus on the game. But I've recovered. Um, works more stable at the moment. It's going to get busy. Um, Plus with study, it'll get even more busy in the next few weeks, months, or like next month, really. Um, so yeah, but I think I should still be able to have more focus while playing the game, at least. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, so I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do. Like, I've still got probably a month worth of Herblore stuff I can do. Um, I don't know. I really don't know whether I skill hop mining and RC, or maybe I try thieving for a bit just to learn it, and then I don't know, dude. Like, it's so hard to play so macro efficiently the way I like playing the game, and I don't know. Maybe I'll just run down RC, and maybe I'll lose 100 hours just to continue playing kind of the way I've always played. Um, because if I finish RC, but then I need to make more runes for um, probably 100 hours is probably an overestimation, but like if I and then I ended up deciding, I want to do all my mahogany's at benches and then make more teaks. Well, then I'm gonna need to craft a lot more earth runes and nature runes, and that's RC XP I'm missing out on if I'm already 200 mil. And I could leave like a mil XP, but that's like maybe for RC it's like more important. I finished smithing because like you basically don't need smithing for anything. Like um the only smithing XP I can see myself needing would be like doing a couple more rune nails for Sep. It's like, I miss out on 50k smithing XP, like fucking big whoop. Um, Rune crafting maybe, but it would just be so nice to run down runecraft and fletching to have them done. But like, over the next few months, I'll probably maybe I can like run down fletching after I more or less finish herb runs, just because like I think I have about including like tree runs, like a mil arrows to make, and that's like 50 hours of RC um, that I can do with crafting instead, or something. And I really don't know how much multi skilling I'll need based on if I don't do yeah if I do benches into homes, then I probably can't fletch as much, and then I don't know if I want to do more fire making at redwoods, because like it's so hard to plan exactly down because it can change really quickly, and you can't think about it too much, especially with how things change and how uncertain kind of the future is. You can make like rough plans, which is what I do. But yeah, uh, see, I really don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. Um, Kind of just chilling. Um, there's kind of so many things I want to do, but you can only do one thing at a time. Um, and I'm kind of locking myself between to doing Herblore, at least for the next ish of a month. Uh, Maybe I'll start skill hopping. Maybe I will do something else. Who knows? Yeah, that is dot point two of 8. Uh, Plan for the future. Um, I don't know if it's worth like it's keeping on going. Like, bro, I'm already at. I think I've passed. I think the last one was an hour and 6 minutes, and I'm at an hour and 9. And it's like, bro, like, do I just like make another one, or do I just? I thought I was gonna run out of topics, and I was gonna get like 25 minutes in, and like I don't want to like not talk fully about a topic. Oh, I just deleted that, or something, but maybe I can reorganize. I mean, there are probably some that are less important that I can talk about anytime. One thing I do want to talk about, I guess that's more time sensitive than some of the other ones, is the Hunter 6 hour. Um, so the Hunter 6 hour was previously held by Enjoys. I think it was like 1.82, a bit under 1.82 mil, I think. I beat it by 10k, no, 7k or something like that. The thing is, I had the outfit and he didn't, and the outfit makes about 7k an hour difference. So really, the equivalent rate should have been, I should have got like 50k an hour over him. Oh, sorry, 50k total over him. But I didn't, and I was pretty disappointed. But I think there are a lot of things I learned from the attempt I did. Because one thing that's always been interesting to me is the trap layout. Um, and like you always have that one trap layout, like the kind of like box or diamond or whatever that everybody uses, and it's kind of just like, well, that just is the trap layout. But like to me, it's kind of like, why is that the trap layout? And like, because like it's not obvious like that is the best trap layout, other than other people use it. Um, and so I kind of looked at the spawns and looked at where the traps were, and I thought, hey, whoops, if I move the northeast trap to the center tile, on average, oh, that one trap is then in range of an extra spawn, um, um, total. So the average amount of chins in range of the trap increased. And so I thought to myself, well, that this is in my head that's better because there's more chance for a chin to go in. And so I did that first 6 hour with that trap layout more or less. Um, I also had someone shooting for me and someone dark luring for me. So shout out Darts, shout out Turn. I had a few people protecting me. So shout out Ook and Yeet, and I think Keller was there for a bit. And hopefully I haven't forgotten anyone because I will feel bad. Um, but I had the help of all these lovely people, and I think I lost about maybe a minute to PKs. Like there was this one retard who just kept coming back in a DDS trying to hit me. Like I'm in full Missouri. Well, I was in the hunter outfit, but I had a Missouri switch. I'm in full Missouri. I've got a fucking crossbow on. I've got a Void Waker. You're in no gear and a DDS. And he came back for literally probably 45 minutes to an hour. He would one item a DDS, maybe bring food, and then he'd be like, I don't know, he'd die and just come back and try and hit me. And then at one point he said, like, what in the 200 mil hunter autism? Which was pretty ironic considering that I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Because he definitely didn't come close to killing me. Or I think he got on me once, and then I killed him. I think I lost a bit of time. And then at another point, someone else got on me, but I just ran to multi and we had someone else like tag him off me or whatever. So I lost like a very small amount of time. And then there was some guy during the last like 20 minutes in like reasonable gear who kept coming back, and he had multiple chances to attack me, but instead attacked someone else that was there. And I'm not sure if he was just retarded or if that was on purpose. I'd like to think it was on purpose, but I don't know. Um, so we then hopped during the 5 minute to a different world, but luckily didn't really lose any time to that. Oh, Ben was there as well for the last like hour, helping Dark with the South spawn. So shout out Ben. yes, I had all this help, and I only got 301, or it was like 300k an hour, I think. Oh, like 300.1 or something like that. Um, and I was pretty disappointed in that result because I'd done quite a few solo hours practice in the last few days, and I was getting 303k an hour ish average, um, or maybe like a little bit lower. And I was like, how can I get better rates solo? Um, and I kind of thought about it, and I spoke to B5, um, because I was wondering if there wasn't any like chin mechanics that I didn't understand. And one of them that I didn't know was chins can't go in a trap that they are standing on. So if you dark lure a chin and it's standing on top of a trap, it can't go in that trap. Um, and so that kind of made the different trap layout that I used worse because you would lure the chin onto the middle, and then it can't go into that trap, and then that trap would kind of actually just fall down quite often. Actually, I'll make this. Um, so that was a bit of anti-synergy there. Um, and then I also think the approach to shooting we originally had was maybe not optimal. I think originally, like, me and Darts both kind of thought that, like, if a chin has no trap to go into, you should shoot it so that way it will respawn. And when it respawns, it does have a trap to go into, and it won't just like run away in the meantime. But I think that's actually wrong. And I think the optimal way is only shoot a chin if it runs away. Um, and that's because like a chin can run away, but it can also run to your other traps and get caught in the other traps. Um, and I think when a chin is dead, when a chin is dead, it definitely can't go in any traps. But when a chin is alive and wandering around, it can maybe go in some traps. Um, and so I think that's a more optimal way to shoot them. It definitely makes it easier when you're solo to shoot them like that. Um, yeah, so I think that actually hurt a little bit, especially with the dark lure. Um, I think like I'm not too sure, but from how I understand it now, um, I don't actually think dark lure is that important. Um, like it definitely increases the XP, but with the combination of dark lure and how we were shooting, um, I think there was actually quite a lot of anti-synergy between the two, and coupled with the trap layout, and those things together kind of hurt the XP, which was kind of unfortunate. I also made like some mistakes. Like I'm definitely not anywhere close to 100% micro for any gatherer. Um, like I could never do woodcutting or mining 6 hour. But really, like losing a tick at hunter isn't really losing a tick. The like actual time loss from fucking up a trap reset or something is probably like 20% of the actual time. Or like I mean that's just a number out my art, but like it's not 1 to 1 really. Because I think like if you fail a trap reset, the chin can still go in like another trap, and then sometimes it might line up better with like the rest of the trap resets or whatever. But um, yeah, but yeah, overall I wasn't really happy with it. So I tried again solo. This time I changed the trap layout. Um, there also one of the other things I learned with um, the chins is one, the chins have arrival delay, which means if they have to walk to a trap, they um, have arrival delay, so they have to walk to the trap, which takes a tick, and then they have to have the arrival delay, which takes an extra tick. So a chin that chooses to go into a trap that it's directly next to will be 2 ticks quicker than one that it is 1 tile away from. So I have a video of the new trap layout on my channel. So basically the goal, there's a little write-up about why, or the reasons I think it's good, but the main reasons are it has more traps closer to spawns. So one, the chins have less travel time and they have less arrival delay. It also means chins like have a, if the chin, because the chin, or the traps attack the chins every 3 ticks. And so a chin that spawns next to a trap, if it immediately starts running away, will more likely than not be within the range to be attacked by the trap, which is 2 tiles, before it can run away, compared to a chin that spawns 1 tile away from a trap. So there's also that. The layout is not perfectly, like, sometimes you can't fully train all the traps in the actual location, so you have to, like, change the trap layout a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't go in your favor and you do have to lose some ticks, but I think overall it's better. My estimate is about 3k XP, but it might be 5k, it might be 2k. It's so hard to tell with something like that because, like, you're testing, like, there's RNG both to the method, or like into the success rate of the chins, plus to how many mistakes I make, plus where the chins wander and all that shit. So it's would take so many hours of, like, testing of the different layouts to basically the same as, like, the mixology that I covered before. But I do believe it is the, if not the actual best, very close. It's like you can't really tell with that simulation. I think the differences are too small. But I do find the new trap layout more fun. I think it's more interesting. And I think with perfect play, so never missing a tick, I think the average XP would be about 306, 307k an hour with the outfit. Solo. So no dark lure, self-shooting. Obviously, well, like, you're gonna lose, like, always gonna lose some ticks when you're shooting yourself because it's so difficult to click the chin and the small time you have between every single time, especially when they move so erratically, especially like when they have, like, the animation stalls from attempting on trap but failing and stuff like that. But yeah, I think my best hour was, I'm not exactly sure. I think it was about 308k, maybe through 8.5, I think. But my average, including, like, some, like, mistakes, but reasonably focused, was about 303.5. I think over about 15 to 20 hours of testing. I think I did 2 6 hours. That's discounting, like, the time lost to PKs. So if you're fully focused and never get hit, about 3 or 3.5 seemed to be my long-term average, which I was pretty happy with. So yeah, I tried 1 6 hour with that solo. I tried on a weekend. I lost about, I think it was off the top of my head, 10 minutes to PKs or something, so I ended up getting like 293k, and that was the video I uploaded. And I really wanted to I wanted to beat the Rex solo because I knew, like, I could get the rate solo. It was just a matter of doing a 6 hour and not losing that much time to PKs. And then, so I tried again. I took off a Thursday for study leave. I woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning, started the Hunter 6 hour. I did end up doing study, like, after, but not for very long. I lost about 2 and a little bit, like 2 minutes 20 seconds or something to PKs. My final rate was, I think, 301k an hour. And I beat my previous rank one by 5k, a little bit under 5, it was like 4.8k or something. So I was really happy, to be honest, that I beat it solo. Even though I have outfit difference, I think not having the wreck be like you don't need to have someone shoot for you. You don't need to have some dark lure. Like obviously it is better, but I think it would be cool if we could have like a gentleman's agreement to not have help externally. Like I think like people protecting you is fine, but I think I mean in one way it's like it's nice to have a soloable method and not require people. But on the other hand, it's cool to see how far exactly it can be pushed. So um, it's kind of cool either way. But I think it's like pretty. I don't know. I'm pretty happy that I have it solo, and I definitely don't plan to go again with people helping unless people are willing to do it because it's so hard to get enough people to do it. But I definitely want to do another solo one because getting that PK RNG is very annoying. And uh, yeah, I think I formulated a hypothetical trap layout for if you have 2 to 3 people helping you. I never tested it. I think it's the best, but we will never know. But I think 300 and like in my head it feels like 315k an hour, so 1,000 gems an hour should be possible. Like if I can solo get 307k an hour, assuming no mistakes, I think with Dark Lure or with very little mistakes, I suppose, with Dark Lure and someone shooting, I think 315 hypothetically might be possible. But I could be very optimistic in that, and maybe it's not. Yeah. I did try using the we like use a torch on the trap and it increases the success chance by 2.5%. But I feel like in any 6 hour attempt, the amount of traps you could do it on would be so low, and like technically it would be better than not doing it. But I think maybe you would just make too many more errors because of it, and you would basically not be able to get to use it much anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, happy with that. Not that I will like if it gets beaten, I won't compete for it. I think I don't really care too much for records. I don't enjoy doing them that much, but if I know I can beat something, I kind of feel obligated to. Um, so that's kind of why I did Agi Day, Agi 6 hour, and now Hunter 6 hour. Um, yeah, um, it's cool to have it, but I also kind of think like I'm too perfectionist for my own good. Like I know that my micro isn't as good as a lot of the other players out there. Um, in terms of like click accuracy over that long of a period of time, but and so I feel it's like undeserved because I probably played worse than the other people. But yeah, I think the way I shine is kind of like innovation and um like with the trap layout. I mean, obviously the like I'm not bad. Obviously without the outfit, I'm pretty sure it still would have been top three. Especially since the other ones also had um uh people dark luring and I think shooting. I think DK shot himself. But yeah, I had someone Dark Lure. Which is, I think Dark Lure is, I originally guessed was also roughly about 7k an hour. But it might be a little less, but it's really hard to tell. But yeah, um, I actually didn't have to go to the bathroom during that 100 to 6 hour, which is, well, I think the first 6 hour um, attempt, or the first, like, specific, like, for the 6 hour, like, in the Agi day, I didn't have to in the first 6 hour, but, like, any other, like, my Agi 6 hour, I had to pee during, and I think 3 of the 4 attempts I was had to pee during for Agi, and then the Hunter 6 hour original rec, I'm pretty sure I had to go to the bathroom during as well, and it's just like, bro, my bladder. I'm not that old. I don't get. I don't get how I can't just like I just don't. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I don't drink water, and suddenly 2 liters of that shit spawns in my bladder, and I have to go 3 hours in. It's really annoying. But yeah, so that is Hunter 6 hour. I feel like I should probably call it here. I guess I'll quickly mention, I don't plan on going for any more records. I was really going to try the fishing one as well, but I don't have the dragon harpoon, and I'm not going to go kill worms. So there's that one. Um, I kind of have the desire to do a 6 hour of most methods, just to have it, like, it doesn't have to be a good one, but just a reasonable 6 hour, like, on the temple page, and I don't know, maybe I'll do it, but, like, is it really important to have a 6 hour brews or a 6 hour of fucking benches or a 6 hour, I don't know. Mining would maybe be cool. Woodcutting would be cool as well, because, yada yada teaks is hard, but I also don't have the two-hand axe, and the method isn't efficient. Maybe I'll do Herblore, but, like, I don't know. I definitely want to do mining. I have at least an 800k one, but when I'll do that when I get around to mining. But yeah. But yeah, no plan to go for any other records. If any of them get beaten, I don't plan to try again. Again, because I don't really like records. And if they get beaten, I would have to try pretty hard to get them back. And yeah, I think playing the game normally is more fun than records. So yeah. Um, Anything else important to mention? I guess I'll mention my other topics. So the other ones were long-term plan and how I plan to finish the game, and I guess what I'll do after the skilling, spreadsheets and micro versus macro efficiency, playing around updates slash sailing, IRL, skilling competitions, and a few other small ones, Clash of Clans. I've been playing a lot of Clash of Clans recently. I guess there's not much to be said about that, but that game is on the PC now, and I was uh, I'm not gonna use that word. I was told to play the game, and I really enjoyed it. Um, it's pretty fun to play on the side. Um, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I guess one was the Seibei cast. I went on the Seibei cast. That was really fun. I wasn't like, I don't know. It was definitely kind of a new thing to me, especially like going from the Ramble into the cast. It was like I wasn't 100% sure if it was something I would be comfortable with doing. Um, but I was reassured that it would be fine by a friend, and it was fun. Um, Definitely got a more positive reception from the comments than I expected, which is cool. Um, yeah, um, I don't know how much I have to say about that. Um, It was really fun. It'd be cool to do it again. I love talking about RuneScape, and I think he does as well. I mean, typically, Seda doesn't really have the best reputation in the skilling community. Or at least, not, I mean, that's the wrong way to say it, but you guys know what I mean. Um, Specifically due to disagreements about, Gnome Cube and updates and stuff like that. And that's fine, but I think, like, I don't know, maybe some people take it too personally. And I don't know, like, I enjoyed my time there, and I would do it again. Um, because I think, like, he also really likes RuneScape, so that was cool. Um, do I have anything else more to say that is quick? Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably cover the other topics that I just mentioned in maybe another one. Um, Maybe this one won't be as long of a gap in between the two rambles. Yeah, as I said, I was only gonna aim for like a month between them, but things happened. Um, yeah, I didn't like feel like I'd have enough to talk about, but clearly, I did. Um, I think I'll call it there. So, thank you all for listening. If you managed to make it 96 minutes into me talking to myself about RuneScape. Um, Hopefully the audio was fine. If you have any questions, or things you want me to talk about, or anything, um, leave a comment. I will probably read it. Um, I mean, I just will read it, but, um, I don't know, talking about RuneScape is really fun, and if there's things in particular that people want to know, or whatever, um, be more than happy to. Um, if you have skilling questions, either my Discord DMs or ironman skilling methods, efficient sheet questions, feel free to ask. Um, I don't know like how I come off, but like if anyone asks me about skilling, I'm definitely more than happy to answer. I always love helping people with that. Um, I'm also not the most outgoing person, and I don't know, maybe I don't come off as like approachable, but that's just being retarded if that is how I ever come off. So please, anything skilling related, um, happy to talk. Um, Man, I just have so much more I could say. Um, well, yeah, this has been fun. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to talk about IRL. I don't know how much people actually care, but I think I think for the non-immediate skilling audience, I think that's something like people generally like seeing. I think a lot of the comments is people saying like being able to my fucking bro, um, like balance IRL or whatever is people find interesting or whatnot. But um, guess that's the next one. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Um, um, Fuck. I don't know, bro. How did the fuck do you end this shit? Like, yeah. I think I'll just try to end 5 times, then I just have something else to say. I am gonna go to bed, and I want to sleep, and I'll wake up and play RuneScape tomorrow, and hopefully study, because I have tomorrow off for study. Cool. Alright, well, have a good one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Good night.